Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to explore Unit 1, which is all about writing and how it's connected by technology. This is part of Mega Goal 2.1. I'm excited to take you through this journey. We'll look at how technology influences writing skills and the opportunities it creates. So, let's get started and see what this unit has in store for us. Let's start by understanding how to identify the similarities and differences between socializing types. First, we want to find common features that these types share, as well as what sets them apart. To do this effectively, we need to use specific phrases that clearly state similarities, like both types involve, or similar to. Similarly, when discussing differences, we use phrases such as unlike or whereas. Once we've gathered these comparisons, the next step is to write a well-structured comparative essay. This means organizing our ideas clearly and logically, making sure to highlight both the similarities and differences we've identified. Remember, the goal is to present a balanced view, showing how these socializing types relate to each other and how they differ. By mastering these skills, you'll be able to analyze social interactions more effectively and communicate your insights clearly. This slide is all about equipping you with the tools to compare and contrast socializing types confidently, which will help you in understanding broader social dynamics and in writing cohesive, insightful essays on the topic. Let's take a look at your student's book on page 14. This page is designed to help us dive deeper into the main topic we've been discussing. Here, you'll find key concepts that are essential for understanding the overall theme of our presentation. As we go through this, focus on how these ideas connect to what we've already learned and how they build a foundation for the next steps. Remember, engaging with the material actively will make it much easier to grasp the core messages. So, let's explore these points together and see how they fit into the bigger picture of our learning journey. Let's take a moment to warm up and get into the right mindset for today's discussion. This slide is all about setting the stage and preparing ourselves for the key points ahead. Warming up helps us focus, engage more deeply, and connect with the material on a more meaningful level. As we go through this, keep in mind that this initial step is essential for understanding how everything fits together in the bigger picture. So, let's proceed with an open mind and ready ourselves to explore the core concepts that will be covered today. Let's take a moment to brainstorm the different ways we can connect and communicate effectively. When we think about face-to-face interactions, they offer a level of immediacy and personal connection that can be really powerful. Seeing someone's expressions and body language helps us understand each other better and build trust more quickly. On the other hand, online communication has become incredibly prevalent, especially in today's digital world. It allows us to reach people across distances and offers flexibility that face-to-face meetings can't always provide. The key is understanding when to use each method to maximize engagement and clarity. Both face-to-face and online interactions are essential tools in our communication toolkit. By leveraging their strengths, we can create more meaningful and effective exchanges, which ties directly into our overall goal of improving our communication strategies. Many universities and colleges are now offering a variety of course modes to meet different student needs. You see, some are purely face-to-face, traditional classroom settings, while others are entirely online. And then there's a growing trend of blended courses, which combine both methods. These often include classroom sessions alongside digital components like email, social networking, or real-time e-learning. Working adult students, in particular, tend to prefer online courses because they provide the flexibility needed to balance education and work commitments. They value the ability to learn on their own schedule, which is essential for their busy lives. However, many students still believe that face-to-face instruction and peer interaction are crucial. They feel that in-person communication helps them grasp concepts better and enhances their overall learning experience. Both groups, those who favor online and those who prefer face-to-face, are quite passionate about their choices. This is reflected in their success rates and learning outcomes, which tend to support their preferred modes of learning. So ultimately, the key point here is that there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Different students have different needs and preferences, and institutions are responding by offering diverse options to support successful learning for everyone. Now, let's focus on the concept of listen and answer. This is all about developing effective communication skills, which are essential in almost every aspect of our lives. When we listen carefully, we really understand what others are saying, rather than just waiting for our turn to speak. This active listening helps us respond more thoughtfully and accurately. The key point here is that listening isn't just passively hearing words. It's about engaging fully, paying attention to tone, context, and underlying messages. When we do this well, our answers become more relevant and meaningful, fostering better connections and trust. This idea ties into the overall theme of effective communication. It's not just what we say, but how well we listen that makes our interactions successful. So, practicing attentive listening and thoughtful responses can significantly improve our relationships, whether in professional or personal settings. As we look at the significant changes in education brought about by technology, it's clear that the internet has played a central role in transforming how we learn. It's really reshaped the face of education, especially in universities and colleges, offering new modes beyond traditional face-to-face classes. Now, we have a variety of options like online courses, blended learning models, which combine online and in-person sessions, and synchronous e-learning, where students and instructors engage in real-time online interactions. These innovations have expanded access and flexibility, making education more adaptable to different needs. When choosing between these modes, it often comes down to individual preferences and practical considerations. Some students prefer the flexibility that online learning provides, allowing them to balance their studies with work or other commitments. Others might favor face-to-face interactions for the direct engagement and immediate feedback they offer. Ultimately, many opt for a hybrid approach, combining the best of both worlds to tailor their learning experience to their personal circumstances. It's important to recognize that both online and face-to-face learning environments have their strengths. Research shows that success rates and learning outcomes can be quite comparable across both modes, depending on how courses are designed and delivered. Students benefit from online courses through increased accessibility and convenience, while face-to-face settings often foster richer interpersonal interactions. Both approaches can effectively support student achievement, and understanding their respective advantages helps us make informed choices to enhance educational experiences. Let's open our student's book to page 15. Here, we'll find some key points that help us understand the topic better. As you look at this page, notice how it connects to what we've been discussing so far. It's designed to give us a clearer picture and reinforce the main ideas. Pay close attention to the examples and explanations. It's these details that often make the concepts stick. Remember, this isn't just about reading. It's about understanding how everything fits together in the bigger picture. So, take your time to go through it, and think about how these points relate to what we've already learned. Building crucial social skills is essential, and one of the key abilities is observing people's expressions. Being able to read nonverbal cues helps us understand others better and clear up any misunderstandings that might arise. This skill is really important for maintaining good mental health because it keeps our perceptions accurate and grounded. Without it, we risk creating a delusional reality where we might misinterpret situations or intentions. Sometimes, you can't even tell what a person truly looks like just through online interactions, which makes these observation skills even more vital. Misunderstandings can happen easily in these cases, so honing our ability to pick up on subtle cues can prevent unnecessary conflicts. And the best part is, you don't have to spend money or go outdoors to socialize and practice these skills. You can develop and strengthen your social awareness right from your own space, which makes this a very accessible and valuable part of your overall personal growth. Now, let's talk about how to complete your essay using your notes. When working on the introduction, it's important to thoroughly explain your key points, but in a way that feels conversational and engaging. Think of it as guiding your audience through your ideas naturally. Highlight the most important concepts so your listeners understand what really matters. And don't forget to connect these points back to the overall theme of your presentation, showing how everything fits together. By doing this, you'll create a cohesive and compelling essay that clearly communicates your message. When writing a comparative essay, it's important to follow a clear structure. First, you start with the introduction, where you include a hook to grab the reader's attention and then clearly reveal the two topics you will compare. This sets the stage for your discussion. Next, in the first paragraph, you focus on explaining the similarities. Use words like alike, the same, likewise, as well as similarly and both to connect ideas that show how the two subjects are comparable. This helps the reader understand where the common ground exists. Then, in the second paragraph, you shift to explaining the differences. Here, words like but, however, on the other hand, whereas and although are crucial. They signal contrasts and distinctions between the topics, making your comparison more nuanced and balanced. Finally, your conclusion should summarize what you've discussed. Recap the main similarities and differences, tying everything together and reinforcing the overall message of your essay. This helps leave a clear impression and wraps up your comparison effectively. Remember, each paragraph plays a key role in guiding the reader through your analysis smoothly. Now, let's talk about how to write a comparative essay. This is all about clearly showing the similarities and differences between two subjects. First, it's important to plan your approach. Decide whether you want to compare point by point or discuss each subject separately before drawing comparisons. Whichever method you choose, clarity is key. Make sure each paragraph has a clear focus, whether it's highlighting similarities or differences. Use strong topic sentences to guide your reader through your arguments. Also, remember to support your points with evidence and examples. This makes your comparison more convincing. Connecting your ideas back to your main thesis helps maintain coherence throughout your essay. And finally, always keep your audience in mind. Make your comparisons clear and engaging, so your reader can easily follow your reasoning. Overall, a good comparative essay helps deepen understanding by highlighting key connections and contrasts, which ties back to the core theme of effective analysis. Remember, when you're discussing differences and similarities, it's important to follow these steps. First, thoroughly explain each point in a conversational way, making sure your audience understands the key concepts. Highlight the most important ideas so they stand out. Also, try to connect these points back to the overall theme of your presentation, showing how they fit into the bigger picture. By doing this, you'll help your audience see the relevance and understand the comparisons more clearly. Always aim for clarity and engagement as you guide them through these comparisons. All right, for your homework, I want you to focus on workbook page 224 and complete exercise. This is a great opportunity to reinforce what we've covered today and ensure you really understand the material. Remember, the key points are not just about doing the exercises, but about internalizing the concepts so they become part of your skill set. Take your time, think through each question, and try to connect what you're learning here to real-world applications. Doing this thoroughly will help you grasp the overall theme of our presentation and build a strong foundation for future learning. So, take your time, work carefully, and I look forward to seeing your progress.